We are on the way to pick up something very cool.
Don't worry, this will all make sense soon.
There is a massive accident M1 southbound. Thankfully we're going northbound, but we ain't going back that way, are we? Norway,
no, doesn't look good.
Norway. We hope everybody's okay. But let's go.
11 minutes later.
I have just picked this up, guys. So we're in Sheffield. Quick pit stop to Dunkin'. Unfortunately, no live mic, so forgive me if the audio's crap. But check this out. Molly, what do you reckon? You like it? You like it? She loves it. Yes, come on. Got it, Mol.
The next morning.
Complete inbox is something that us collectors are constantly hashing out online, and it got me thinking with this recent purchase of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, if I can get my words out, as to what does that actually mean? Why do we care? Obviously with my copy of Castlevania it was missing the art book, but I did pay £300 for it. I know, I can hear you shouting and screaming at me right now, that was a rip-off. But that is unfortunately market price. That's actually quite cheap by market price standards. If we go by CEX, for example, 295 quid, they sell it for 495. There's no way on God's green earth I would have paid over £300, but it is a game that I've been wanting for quite some time. But I can't help but feel just a fraction disappointed that that art book is missing. Now, of course, there are plenty of other games. There are Japanese games which come with a variety of different things, all of which add significant value. There are the differences between the NTSC collectors, the PAL collectors as well. Again, with different box art, different warranty cards, different structures to the box sometimes I've seen here with the Sega Saturn stuff. Side note, I definitely prefer the boxes on the NTSC American stuff. And of course, we all miss an instruction manual and we all miss a good poster. Who didn't like diving into the upcoming video game section on a poster for your GameCube games or your Game Boy Advance or whatever it is? These were all things as kids that we loved on Christmas morning, opening those boxes, scouring those posters. Of course, back then there was no internet, so things like that were immensely important to the experience, and that is something that fuels my nostalgia today. Which brings me all the way back to my burning question. Why was I bothered that my copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night wasn't complete? Well, I've just answered it. It didn't fulfill my nostalgia. Now that's the collector in me talking. The player in me is absolutely elated that I can play an original PAL copy of Castlevania Symphony of the Night on my PlayStation 1, well, one of them, which is just behind me here. I am extremely happy that I don't have to emulate it. I'm also happy that I don't have to even play my NTSC copy, because I have even less nostalgia for that because I live in the United Kingdom. So it doesn't quite feed the collector in me, and I think that that is an important distinction between me and you and all of us. There's the collector in us, and there's the gamer in us. The collector in me wants CIB, the collector in me wants mint condition, but in my heart of hearts, if I had to pick if it was one or the other, I'd pick the game over CIB. I'd pick the game over minty fresh. I'd pick the game Castlevania Symphony of the Night, missing art book, just to have an actual copy of the game. I'm incredibly happy with that. I will lure your attention to this as well. There was a crack on the back of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and I said to Jess, I'm going to replace this, Jess. And she said to me, Gemma, don't. It's not the original box. And then I had a light bulb moment. She was absolutely spot on. It's not the original box. And check this holographic sticker out. Had I have replaced the jewel case, I would have been missing this original holographic sticker. And again, you can buy repro on Etsy and whatever other site you can buy repro stuff from. That's fine. But it wouldn't have been an original. And I want original. So I'm happy with my mild crack along the back of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I'm pretty sure I can find a copy of the art book somewhere. Maybe there's somebody on the corner of the internet watching this episode right now that can point me in the direction of one. And if you can, thank you. Holler at me in them comments. But if not, we can still do this. My collecting habits have changed and will continue to change in the years to come. But what matters most to me is original hardware. I hear and I see time and time again people talking about emulation. Emulation has an incredible place in preserving video game history, games that never came out, games that were only available digitally, and it's just keeping them in the public domain. That's fantastic. But I like original hardware. I'm a 90s girl and I feel like it's one of my core collecting values to always collect original stuff. I have emulated in the past where I've maybe recorded footage on a game that I simply cannot afford because I'm priced out, and it feels like a pleasure and an honour just to be able to play it. So I do feel that emulation serves a purpose and a value for me. But if you know me, if you've followed me for quite some time, the collection up here in the Lady Loft, the collection downstairs in the Lady Lounge will forever be physical. Now, what about the current gen and where does that leave us? I'm not talking about Game Pass, oh no. I'm talking about your PlayStation 5 games, which when you pop open a case, you are merely greeted with the disc itself. And 9 times out of 10, the majority of that game comes from downloading the additional content when you put it into your system. That's weird. That is super weird. But what's even more baffling to me is the lack of manuals, the lack of paraphernalia. And okay, we see manuals with the indie companies, we see manuals with the likes of Shady Limited Run. You never get your game for 2 years. If you order from us, don't even bother ordering from Limited Run. But as is off the production line, you ain't getting manuals with your PlayStation 5 games. I miss that. I miss the smell, I miss the art, I miss the control system, I miss it even telling me how to set up my PS5. Because let's face it, those Super Nintendo manuals often told you how to turn on your Super Nintendo. But that makes me smile. And I hope that as you're watching this, you can fritter through your own memory bank and feel the nostalgia just as I'm doing, sat talking to you right now. So, complete in box or not complete in box? For me, so long as I have the original game, I'm absolutely fine to avoid CIB. It knocks me, but it shouldn't, because there's bigger things to fry in life, of course. Health is, of course, wealth over anything. So I'm going to leave it there. It would mean the world to me if you guys could hit that subscribe button. We've just passed 70k. I'm hoping to achieve 100,000 subscribers before my 10 years anniversary next March is up. So if you could help me reach that dream, it would be amazing. Thank you and look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.